Hello, Sunnyside. What a blessing it is to just be able to just bring you some thoughts that I think you might be interested in hearing about. On Saturday mornings, I find myself waking up and actually listening to the radio. This morning, I looked up on a thing called Urban Family Focus. It came on at 7 a.m. and it's sponsored by the Urban League on KBLA 1580 AM. Dr. Gloria Morrow was speaking, and she was just talking about mental illness that's really a problem with all of us at this time, especially within our community within the last, the last 2 years or so. She encouraged us to really just try and remain positive. And one of the things then I thought was interesting, she was the author of several books, but one that caught my attention was The Thing That Makes Men Cry. Interesting title. But again, there's so much out there that we just really need to be aware of things. Community college and K-12 students can ride metro trains and buses for free under a new pilot program. Okay? And they can have unlimited trips. This is something then that is starting. Now, they must have a TAP card, which they get from their school or their school districts. And according to the superintendent of LAUSD, it's a game changer for our students to have access to this beautiful city, the culture, the museums, internship jobs, additional educational opportunities, and meaningful experiences. As I was looking at the article, it said that some of the participating school districts are LAUSD, Centinela Valley Union School District, Culver City Unified, and really a number of other districts that were listed. There were some districts, too, that are not participating. Some of them were ABC Unified, El Segundo Unified, and Compton Unified. Now, some cited the reason was of the cost of the program, and it's really on a per-student basis. And some of the ones that were not participating said that there was a lack of need or a lack of students who actually take part in public transportation. And then immediately I started thinking about some people from the Compton area, okay, well-known personalities who perhaps we just might want to just make them aware of the fact, okay, that this is a possibility that could really help our children, okay? You know who they are. Okay, I won't call them out here, but again, that's food for thought, something to think of. I was just speaking to one of the younger people here at Sunnyside and asked them about free broadband. Okay, as I was looking at the article in the paper, it said only 20% of eligible households have enrolled in this emergency broadband program. And it said possibly it's because they may not be aware of it. Who might be eligible? Well, if your income is $17,400 single or $35,000 for a family of four, if you are a dependent or enrolled in a major federal safety net program such as food stamps or Medi-Cal, if you earned as much as $99,000 as a single person or $198,000 as a couple, but you were impacted, perhaps you lost your income because of COVID-19. If you or your family member received a Pell Grant for college during this current year, or you qualified for reduced school lunch in this current or the past 2 years, then perhaps your household is eligible for an internet service provider's discounted broadband service. Now, each household can obtain only one line. So you may really want to look into this. You can apply through your internet service provider, or you can go directly to the FCC for application. Okay, and this is again about emergency broadband benefits. I didn't know anything about broadband, so again, I spoke to a younger person. So ask them to kind of fill you in on this, because this might be something that can benefit your household. Inglewood Housing Protection Department for the city of Inglewood was launched just on October the 1st, 2021. The fees will be waived for those registering between January 7th, 2022 and March the 31st, 2022. Now, as I was looking at this, it says that the city council created the department to assist its residents, both landlords and tenants, and that they're actually there to help. For any resident who has any questions or concern regarding rent increases and eviction procedures and protections, you are urged to contact the City of Inglewood Housing Protection Department at 310-412-4330, or go to, and it all runs together, housing protection at cityofinglewood.org. Okay? Additional information that hopefully will be quite beneficial. The Salvation Army has a sign-up for Thanksgiving turkeys on October 18th. So check your local Salvation Army. And again, I got this information over in Inglewood, so I'm sure you can sign up there. If you sign up for the Thanksgiving turkey, you will automatically be signed up for the December turkey giveaway as well. Paper shredding and document shredding event. Again, Inglewood is trying to offer some services. This will take place on Saturday, November the 6th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is for Inglewood residents only, and your ID will be required. You can take up to 3 boxes or 3 bags maximum. Now, you can go with a small bag. You can go with a shopping bag. But the person that was sharing this information said she actually showed up with some really big bags. So 3 of them, and it's a no contact drive-through. So again, check with the City of Inglewood, because they're offering some services that really might be beneficial to you. I'm going to share this with you because it just might shed a little light on some things. Okay? I came across this article, The Truth About Tuskegee Experiment Revealed. Okay? And it starts off like this. How fortunate and blessed we are to know about the types of COVID vaccines that are available today. Why then should we deny ourselves getting vaccinated? We all have the opportunity to be informed, receive advice from professionals we trust, and understand how we can protect ourselves by getting vaccinated. Now, those were the words of Lily Tyson Head. She's the daughter of Freddie Lee Tyson, a United States Public Health Service syphilis study victim at Tuskegee in Macon County, Alabama, and president of the Virginia-based Voices for Our Fathers Legacy Foundation. She goes on to say that during her speech, she shared information about the history of the Public Health Services study and corrected some of the misinformation that has been widely circulated for decades. Again, things that have been repeated. For one, she requested that the monikers the Tuskegee syphilis study and Tuskegee experiment cease from being used. Tuskegee Institute, which is now Tuskegee University, was not the owner of the study, nor were they responsible for it, she said. The study began in 1932 and was initially funded by the Rosenwald Foundation for 6 months, and then for the next 39 years and 6 months, it was approved and funded by the U.S. government, she said. This study is the longest lasting non-therapeutic biomedical study in the U.S. history. The participants were African American men, struggling farmers, or poor sharecroppers with little formal education. They were not injected with syphilis, as the myth has been circulated. The recruits included men with congenital syphilis, latent syphilis, or no syphilis. The men were told that they had bad blood. Does that sound familiar? That they had bad blood and they would receive treatment. They were never told that they were in a study and the intent of the study. To make matters worse, those with syphilis were denied penicillin when it became available in 1945, despite the drug's proven results in treating the disease. The ramifications of this study are still haunting and fostering mistrust, she said. 49 years after the study was exposed and 89 years after the study began, people, particularly in the African American communities, distrust certain medical treatment and medical research, and they are using this study as a reason for hesitating getting vaccinated or refusing to get vaccinated at all. Again, you often hear that study being quoted about what happened to us and that syphilis study. So just be aware. Here it is now. We are aware that there is a vaccination that is available, to us. But again, even though they were aware that penicillin was beneficial, the people in that study were denied access to it. Mothers in Action will be hosting a Pfizer mobile vaccine site for ages 12 and up this October 12th and November the 2nd from 10 until 2 p.m. at the LA Sentinel office, which is located 3800 Crenshaw Boulevard. To make appointments, you may email Mothers in Action Incorporated at AOL.com. They need to have your name, your date of birth, your zip code, your phone number, and your preferred appointment time. The telephone number you can also use to call to get additional information is 323-290-0456. As I'm getting ready to close, again, my uncle told me that my sermons were too long. Last time I was sharing with you information about the events that had taken place during the month of August. And I mentioned that I was reading a book called The Killing of Emmett Till. Well, actually, no, it's called The Blood of Emmett Till. And as I was reading it, I realized why it's taken me so long to read this book. And at the same time, I was telling you that a good source of information is to go to your local library. And as you need longer times with materials, it's just a matter of calling, and those extensions will be given. Voter suppression is something that's really big on my heart. I'm really concerned about that. And as I read this book, or as I am still reading it, I started just taking notes about some things. And I want to encourage you, again, to become a good trouble ambassador. Okay, be a party of one, to just make people aware of the importance then of your vote. As I looked through this book and started writing down some notes, on page 110, there was a statement that said, "Last warning, if you are tired of living, vote and die." On page 16, they got your partner last night. If you don't go down and get your name off the register, you are going to be next. Again, the changes our people have gone through just to register to vote. Page 126, Roy Wilkins of the NAACP, front page of the Jackson Clarion Ledger. It would appear that by lynching, that the state of Mississippi has decided to maintain white supremacy by murdering children. Some of the other things I just won't read. But again, fascinating book. Check out your local libraries instead of going and buying some. Okay? And again, just become an ambassador of good trouble by encouraging not only people in your area, but people in other states, especially when you're aware that an election is taking place. Encourage them to call and check to make sure then that their name is still on the rolls, because we're hearing all of these games that are being played today called voter suppression. But again, they are really making it that much more difficult for us as a community to vote. Thank you so much for your time.